Well, it's never easy to do the last session. I'm sure you all had your fair share of, as I call it, Gyan since morning. So I'll try and keep it simple. I'll try and keep it straight. And so thank you once again, Nidhi, and thank you, Elite Plus, for giving me this opportunity to address this esteemed, audience out here who probably are masters in their own field. So I look forward to this conversation. I personally have been lucky actually to be part of the M&A business over the more than 2.5 decades now. But I think over the last decade or so have, been involved in, I would say, more than 50% of the transactions that have happened in the packaging space in India personally. So I've seen the journey over the last decade on how this sector was not so exciting between 2000 to 2010, 2012. It became slightly exciting in 2012, 13, 14, and then it became very exciting post 2015, 16. So, this has been the journey for packaging sector M&A. I said it was a sector which was boring to the M&A world before 2012, 13. It really started off seeing M&A action or deal making 2012, 13 onwards. And the first phase of M&A activity was flexibles. I think that was really the sweet spot. Whatever deals we were talking about, whatever global folks were looking at in India, whether it was, or the Mondis of the world, it was all about looking at the flexible space. So really, it was largely inbound between 2010 to 2015. Somewhere in 2015, there was a change of flavor in the market. You clearly had, apart from strategic consolidation in India and global guys looking at India, you really had now private equity looking at deal making in the packaging sector. Now, this was something which was, not very surprising because bankers like us were going to the private equity folks presenting and saying, listen, this is an interesting sector to invest in. But it took us a few years to get them excited about this sector. And, I remember the journey where in 2013, 14, 15, you could go to private equity folks and say, listen, this is a sector ripe for consolidation. And they would look back and say, listen, the ROCs don't stack up. The margins are volatile. The alpha is not there in this sector. So why should we look at packagings? But yeah, things started changing.